Hello guys, welcome to the Train Parrot. I have released a new indicator. This indicator is called the Big Well Explorer, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can use this indicator to tell you when the wells are accumulating or distributing. Large wells know what they're doing, so you better pay attention when they are selling you their bags. You don't want to be the exit liquidity of the wells. You actually want to be trading with the wells. Whenever they're accumulating, you want to be buying, and whenever they're selling, you want to be selling too. They have so big pockets that whatever they do ends up being most of the times the prominent trend. I released this indicator one day ago, and I'm going to explain precisely how to use it. And by the end of the video, you're going to be able to get this indicator for free. You're going to add it to the Bitcoin chart on the 1-day time frame, and hopefully in the next bull market it's going to help you much better to decide what to do with your Bitcoin, or whether if you have to add more to your bags. Guys, if this is the kind of content that you prefer to watch, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bells so you get notified every time I upload one of these videos. Of course, hit the like, and there are two things that you can do for this channel that are the best to help us. Watch the video until the very end and leave us a comment down below. The instructions to find and to set up this indicator are extremely straightforward. I recommend that you load it with BTC chart, but use the Bitcoin all-time history index. This is going to give you the maximum amount of data that there is available about Bitcoin. Next, you're going to search by TTP Big Well and load this one here by the Trading Parrot. And if you are in the 1-day time frame, it's going to look more or less like this. As you can see, it's got the shape of an oscillator with different colors. I made sure that the green is symbolizing areas that are safer to buy, and the red are areas that are safer to sell. On these areas below 0.5, you know that the wells are very busy withdrawing Bitcoin from exchanges. And how do I know all this data? We are using data from Into the Block. They offer two different indexes, BTC large holders inflows and BTC large holders outflows. Historically, when there are outflows from the exchanges, it means that these wells are planning most likely to hodl. That's because they're sending these outflows into cold storage. Whereas whenever there are large inflows, it's very likely that they're going to end up selling. It could be that they're not going to be selling immediately, but at least they're getting ready for selling. Because they cannot sell directly in the network, they are forced to send it to the exchange to be able to sell. And whales are not stupid, so they don't keep their Bitcoin in the exchange. As soon as they think they made a good buy, they withdraw it into the wallet. So what we're going to do first, so you understand how I interpret this indicator, is we're going to ride all the way from the beginning of this year. Remember, around here, there was the collapse of FTX. This coincides with an area where there was massive panic, and that panic was not only affecting the small holders, but we can see right here that also the wells were capitulating in this area. At the 48K, there was a massive selling pressure from big wells, and those wells selling here were responsible for a catastrophic dump of almost 63% during the bear market. It's evident that some of them decided, okay, this is my exit, and some of them, way less, they ended up selling at the worst price right here. Because pretty much after this, the price went up. So one note to take is that not always when the big wells are selling or depositing into exchanges means it's a good opportunity to sell. In this area here, they started accumulating. The accumulation is very obvious throughout this period, and that took the price slightly higher. But you can see that as soon as we are at 21K, there's again selling. This is crossing the number 1. The number 1 in this oscillator is extremely important. It means that there are more wells depositing than wells withdrawing. So that means that there are more whales willing to sell than whales willing to buy and hold. Eventually, during this period of December of 2022, there was distribution, and this didn't help that much because retail started buying around here. It pushed the price, but since the whales were selling, the price ended up still dumping. And only once the whales started accumulating in this area here heavily below the 0.5, then that triggered the actual short squeeze to the upside. We can even see that this accumulation remained throughout this whole period. Even up until this top, they decided to keep withdrawing Bitcoin. During this move to the downside, back into the 20K, there was again some selling, but the accumulation resumes right around here, pushing the price once more to the upside. All this period here coincides with distribution, and this area very small, and very quickly you know that they are back into accumulation just to sell once again this top around here. The next times where we are seeing interesting times of accumulation from whales are around the 20th of September, very recent, and around the 22nd of October. This is right before we crossed the 30K and we went all the way to 38K. Interestingly, you can see that in here there is some whales that I call confused. And why am I saying that? Because you can see that some whales during this period where we approach for the first time the 38K were distributing, sending Bitcoin into exchanges. But that slowly has transitioned into more whales accumulating, but still there is nothing categoric here. We are hovering the number 1, which is kind of a balance between selling and buying. Here, there is not an agreement among all the whales on what to do. It will be much easier to make a decision right here based on what they're doing if the oscillator came back below to the 0.5, because that will mean that definitely they are in agreement and they are currently accumulating more. Or if we saw that this oscillator reached the area above 1.5, that will also make it much easier to decide that they are actually distributing into retail. The indicator is open source and you can hit here and have a look at the source code because, for example, you can change this BTC to Ethereum or XRP. Just make sure that you change both the outflows and the inflows. And just by doing that small tweak, you can also see what's going on with the XRP, the ADA, the Ethereum, and the top cap coins as well. Eventually, I'm going to upgrade the indicator to do much more than what it's doing right now, but so far I'm very happy. I'm also being able to say when the plot is crossing the ratio, and I can say when it's crossing down or up, symbolizing these crosses that you're seeing of the MA versus the ratio. Even once a day, I can get notified whether we are in accumulation or in distribution when it comes to what the whales are doing. And one last thing before I let you go, in the bull run, let's have a look at how it was. Look at this. There is distribution of large whales all the way until the first stop of the bull market at 41K. Right after that, most of the large whales will have already sold their holding, and this last leg to the upside that is full of bearish divergences was all driven by retail, the people that buy the last and the people that get wrecked. So it's very important to know when are the whales gone, because when they are gone, you better decide to exit quick, because retail never lasts very long moving the price, believe me. And secondly, when there was this big correction, you can also tell when it was the best time to re-enter the market. You have to re-enter when the whales are re-entering. Look at this area of accumulation of large whales. You have 1 month of time to decide whether you believe what they're doing and you want to join them for another push to the upside, or you want to ignore it. Up to you. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, enable notification bells, and please do not go anywhere without leaving a comment down below. That really helps the channel and it keeps my motivation this high so I can keep delivering indicators for free for all of you guys. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Bye bye.